podcast network by Run Try Bike. I am your host, Jason Bahamundi, and today we have a very special guest. Kaitlin Carew is going to be joining us. Kaitlin was recently featured in our How It All Started segment on our website at runtrimag.com, and she is fresh off of competing at 70.3 Oceanside. We're going to talk to her a bit about that event, but this show is more about getting to know the person beyond the paces and the distances. So without any more hesitation and any more rambling by me, let's bring Kaitlin on the show and start our conversation. Hey, Kaitlin, how are you?
Hi, good. How are you doing?
Fantastic. First off, let me say thank you for submitting your How It All Started feature to us. It was great to get to know a little bit more about you and the obstacles that you have faced on your path to trying to get to the Ironman World Championships.
Yeah. Well, thank you for having me on. I'm excited.
Yeah. So you're fresh off of 70.3 Oceanside.
Yes.
We were talking in the back room. This is your first time there. I know the answer to this, but what were the results?
So I was, I guess like place wise, I was the fifth female for age group to finish overall, and then fourth in my age group because I'm the 25 to 29, because our age group has to be insanely competitive. But I was really hoping that my bike would have been a little bit faster. I raced with friends, which was a lot of fun. Like that's the first time I feel like I've gotten to go with like a group of friends and we all raced together. So like that was a lot of fun. And they all gave me the down low on the course and like what to watch for and what to do. And I was not prepared for those hills. I totally underestimated them. And I got done with that bike and I was like, oh, I should have done X, Y, and Z differently. But I totally underestimated those hills.
For those of you who don't know, at Oceanside, you end up doing three basically mountain climbs. You go through Camp Pendleton, and Oceanside was the first 70.3 I ever did myself, which I think was in 2011. And I remember coming up on that first climb, and you could see it in the distance. And there was an athlete that I was passing on the bike at the time, and when the first pass, you could see, and he kind of whispers and grunts, and he goes, "We have to fucking go up that." I said, "Well, I guess your other choice is to turn around, buddy. I don't know what to tell you. Like, this is it. We got it. Good luck to us."
Yeah. Yeah. When I saw that, well, my friends had told me there's going to be one where you can see everyone climbing it and it's steep. And I was like, okay. And that was the hill. And we get to it. And I was like, okay, they said that's the worst one. It'll be fine after this. And it was not.
It was
there
not.
was still more. And I was like, oh, this doesn't stop here. I was hoping this would stop.
No, like you see people slalom up, skiing up, right? Just going left to right, just trying to maintain momentum. And this is not to scare you people. Do the race. It's a blast.
It's a course.
Yes, it's a blast. It's a great crowd. Just be prepared for climbing. Do your winter, get on your trainer and find the steepest hill in your neighborhood and just keep climbing it for sure.
Yes. And it was like the bike course too is so pretty.
Yes.
Like, because you don't get to see most of it. You can't ride it because it's through Camp Pendleton.
Right.
But there were a couple times where I was like, just stop like looking at your watts and like look at what's next to you. Like this is beautiful to ride in. Like there was one hill you come over and to the right there's just like all these rolling hills and mountains and like it's all green and it's like, okay, just stop racing for like 2 seconds. You can do that. It'll be okay. And like look at what's around you. It was like a perfect day. There wasn't any clouds in the sky, which you can see on my face because I have a lovely sunglass tan line.
Yes.
And but there were other things that I had to like remember to take away from it other than just the time.
That's right. So we preface this show on going beyond paces and distances and awards and medals. So we're going to have a fun conversation of getting to know Kaitlin beyond all of those metrics. Mm-hmm. I'm a huge baseball fan, and I always think about walk-up music. So at Oregon 70.3, the announcer announces Kaitlin Carew entering the water for the swim. What's the song that's playing as you get ready to start this competition?
Okay, so there's a story behind this one too. So when I was in college, I swam and we got to do walk up songs at conference if we were the first seed overall. And so one song we always played at practice was called Dessert by, I think it's by like Darwin or something like that. It's an upbeat, like kind of like tech, like I think more like EDM is what I'd consider it. I honestly am not good with that. Um, but that was the song that I chose for when I walked up at conference. And and my whole team, because you walk through like all the teams, and so when I got to my team, my whole team was like freaking out. And one of my friends always has her like signature dance that she does, so that's what she was doing as we walked by. And it was like going into finals for a conference race, so it was just like calming that like I had everyone there like having fun. And so that would be my walk up song because it has a fun backstory behind it.
Awesome. We will be adding that to the Everyday Athlete Podcast Network playlist on Spotify, so people can go
Okay.
check that out.
People can go listen.
Yesterday on Threads, I posted about my Mount Rushmore of cereals, which includes Frosted Flakes, Cinnamon Toast Crunch, Raisin Bran, and Captain Crunch with berries. You have to pick 4 cereals to go on your Mount Rushmore of cereals. What are you putting up there?
Oh, now I actually have to think about this one. I haven't had cereal in a while. I would have to say Captain Crunch, or sorry, what was I thinking? Cinnamon Toast Crunch. I
Yes.
was like, I heard you say that one. That one I agree with. Oh, I have to think of 3 more somehow. Oh boy, I'm going back to like my childhood now. My mom was very particular. I love this was a good thing at the time when I was a kid. She wouldn't let me, but my mom was very particular about like what different cereals we could eat because of the sugar contents. So
Yep.
like I really didn't have that many cereals. Like Cinnamon Toast Crunch was like our treat because that was the only one we were allowed to have. So
That's it. Mount Rushmore has 1. That's it. That's it. That's it. That's it. You don't have to worry about it anymore. You're breaking the rules on our food games, but that's okay.
Yeah, that's the one that I remember the best. That and Special K. We always got the Special K ones.
Okay, so now we've got 2.
We
We
got
got 2
2.
on Mount Rushmore. We're making our way. Before the show's over, we might have 4 placements. All right, this is another question we ask everybody on our fireside chat, so we're going to bring it here. Pineapple on pizza, yay or nay?
So I don't like pizza.
What? Oh my goodness, a first. Seriously?
Yeah, seriously.
Like, why? We're going to dive into this one. This is going to become a therapy session now.
Yeah, everyone always tells me I'm crazy for that one. I will literally eat almost everything else. That is like the one food that I do not eat.
As a native New Yorker, I'm flabbergasted by this idea.
And I like the non-traditional pizzas though. You know, like if you put like barbecue sauce on it, like do a chicken barbecue or do like a pesto chicken, something like that. Like I know there's like mac and cheese pizza. That's my favorite. It's very good. But I've never had pineapples on pizza. But if I had to, I would probably say yes to it because I love pineapple.
Yeah, but it's a good thing you don't eat pizza, so then we don't have to worry about that answer because that's not acceptable either. Fun fact about me: I have never eaten macaroni and cheese in my entire life.
No,
never.
That's like one of my favorite things. I'm from Wisconsin. It's cheese and noodles. Like I can't.
Yeah, like well, how can you go wrong in Wisconsin? It's like me asking you why you've never eaten pizza, right? As a New Yorker, that's just part of the process as growing up. There was a question on Threads yesterday or 2 days ago, and it said, "What's the best side to go with pizza?" And I was like, "More pizza." Like, what do you mean? What's the best
You don't need
side?
anything else. The pizza's enough.
Bring me a second pie, pal. I don't need anything else. You mentioned you're from Wisconsin, but you now live in Oregon. So, which of these 2 areas has better cheese? Oregon and Tillamook or Wisconsin? I don't. What's a brand out of Wisconsin outside of all of it? I guess.
Sargento, I believe, is
Okay.
still based in
All
Wisconsin.
right. So we're
I'm trying to think because I don't even remember like the brands in Wisconsin because most of the time like you'd go to the Quick Trip on the corner and they'd have the fresh local cheese curds from whatever like dairy company was close or farm was close. So it was like I don't even remember the brands. I just knew that it was the one that was closest that was sitting out in Quick Trip that day.
I did
um
a quick search and I see Santori cheese. I see
yeah,
Gardner's cheese.
Gardner's.
But let's just use Wisconsin cheese versus Oregon cheese. Which one
Um
is better?
so I do Tillamook is pretty good. Everyone here, when I tell them I'm from Wisconsin, insists on telling me that I need to drive 3 hours to get cheese curds. And I'm like, yeah, I understand, but you don't get it. Like I could go 5 minutes in Wisconsin to get cheese curds, not 3 hours to get fresh cheese curds. Like everyone's like, oh, it's the same thing. I'm like, no, it's not.
It's just like when
But
people here and I live in California and they're like,
yeah,
"Oh, you should go to that New York pizza joint." And I'm like,
yeah,
"It's not going
it,
to be the same."
it
I'm telling you
doesn't
right now,
not
it's not.
yeah. Yeah, but Tillamook is good. I do like their cheese, but you can't beat Wisconsin.
You got to get, and
It's
the cheese curds have to have the squeak, the
the
Wisconsin
squeak,
squeak.
yes. My coworkers didn't know what that was when I first started there. I was like, yeah, squeaky cheese. They're like, what are you talking about? I'm like, the cheese curds have to squeak when you eat them. That means that they're even better then. And we're all like flabbergasted about that.
I learned that
So
from a guy that was from the area, and he was a client
mhm.
of ours, and he would always bring them to us when we were in Texas. And he's like, the key to knowing if it's good or not is the squeak. That was it.
Yep.
It was
Yep.
the whole kit and caboodle.
Yep.
All right,
Yes.
pancakes or waffles? Which one are you going with?
Are we allowed to add things into them or just plain?
Well, let's start step one. Which one? And then we can start adding stuff and see how it changes.
Plain, I would say waffles.
Okay. By plain, you mean like butter and syrup or just like the actual waffle? Like
Oh,
just
yeah, just the actual waffle.
okay. So now
Yep.
we add butter and you're going which direction?
Add butter. I would still go with a waffle.
So let's put syrup on it,
Waffle.
chocolate chips,
Pancakes.
blueberries,
Ooh, pancakes. Mm-hmm.
bananas.
I think pancakes still.
So clearly the unabridged version, you give me
Yep.
waffles. Give me butter, syrup.
Yep.
I'm good with waffles. You start adding anything to it, I've got to switch over to
I
pancakes.
need the pancake. Yeah.
Which is interesting,
There's
right? Because the waffle would hold that stuff because it's got the
right,
little dents in it.
right. But it's just it stuff so falls out of there. We're like it's in the pancake and then it's just smushed in the pancake and it's a lot less mess. Easier. We had pancakes earlier this week for dinner. We did breakfast for dinner. It's like one of my favorite meals. Breakfast
By
is my
far.
favorite food category. Like,
We need to pass a law or a rule that immediately says, like, stop referring to breakfast and thinking that it's something that you consume between 6 and 9 a.m.
yeah,
Right?
it's all day, every day.
That's it. Right. Like, I mean, I had cereal the other day because I was like, I don't feel like actually quote unquote cooking,
Yeah,
pancakes, waffles, whenever. Like, it's too good to pass up. Why would
yeah,
you?
yeah. So that race that I'm doing in a couple of weeks is that 5K.
Yeah.
They have a flap Jill and a flap Jack because Krusty's is the sponsor for it.
Okay.
And so if you beat flap Jill or flap Jack, like based on your gender, you get free pancakes for a year.
Nice. How hard are you training
So
for this? To hell with recovery from Oceanside.
well, last year I beat her, so I got to do it again.
There you go.
But got a free year of pancakes. That's why we're eating them now.
It's a full year of
You get a
pancakes?
full year of pancakes. Yeah. They
Oh
give
my
you like
goodness.
they give you like, coupons for whatever the average or the normal amount of pancake mix would be. So
Yes.
we got like a handful of crusty coupons that you can use at the store
Oh, that is
and get
so
like
worth it.
boxes of pancake mix. Yeah.
What'd you do the 5K in?
Last year it was a 1858.
Woo.
But like the guy finished in like 17 something. So they have to wear pancake costumes while they run too, right? And the guy finished in like 17 something and the girl finished in 19 something. And I was like, that's still pretty impressive with a
That
pancake
is
costume on.
That is really impressive.
So,
That is beyond impressive.
I mean, it is Eugene, Oregon. A lot of runners are here,
Yeah,
so they
yeah.
can pull from some pretty fast people and entice them to run in the pancake costume.
Zero doubt about that. All right, so you have raced or plan on racing Ironman in 4 different areas: Maryland, Arizona,
Hmm.
Wisconsin, and California.
Hmm.
So we're going to make choices based on the foods that represent those areas and see
Okay.
which one you're most interested in racing. So for Maryland, we have crabs.
Okay.
Arizona, we have like a Southwest Mexican dish, burrito type thing.
Okay.
Wisconsin, we're going to go with ice cream.
Hmm.
And in California, I know it's in Northern California, so let's go with a charcuterie board. Some cheese and some salami and a glass of from a wine tasting. Which is the Ironman event that you're least interested in doing based on your food at the end of the race, based on those choices?
Oh, crabs. The
Okay, so
Maryland one.
Maryland is out. What's the
That
next
just
one?
there's no way that sounds good after we get done. Oh God.
No, 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 soft shell crab sandwiches for you at
Yeah.
that point.
Mm-mm. Maybe like an hour or two later, but the next day, the next day I'd probably be more than happy with it.
What else? Well, who goes next? Who's out next?
Okay, it was the Southwest ice cream or the charcuterie board. Probably Arizona would have to be out next.
Arizona's out next. So we're down to ice cream or a charcuterie board, which includes
Yeah.
cheese, obviously. So we know we.
See, so like here's my dilemma now because ice cream is, you can't ever say no to ice cream. It's gonna taste really good after 140 miles of work.
Yep.
But a charcuterie board's like lighter. So like I might be able to tolerate that better. Like I might look at the ice cream and just be like, "Oh no,
I just
this
can't
is
stomach it.
too much." Yeah, like I feel like when I got done with Ironman California, I literally sat with like the plate of food. It was really cool. They did food trucks, and you got a free meal token. And you could go get it from whatever truck you wanted. And my family went and got me a meal and came back, and it literally sat in front of me for like probably a good 45 minutes. I
Yeah.
just sat there on the chair, and I was like, I don't want to move. I don't feel like eating anything. I know I should eat this, but like, I don't want to do anything right now. Just let me sit here and sip my Sprite and figure out what my body wants to do. Because I don't know. So I'm like, maybe the charcuterie would be easier to eat.
Don't forget with the charcuterie board, you also have crackers or bread.
Yeah.
So
Oh,
that that might help settle your stomach.
it
So
might
I
be
think
better. Yeah.
based on this whole thought process, I think I'd go charcuterie board as well.
Charcuterie board. Yeah. Yeah.
100%. All right. So, as a triathlete, you swim, bike, and run. Which of these things would scare the living bejesus out of you more? You're swimming and you see a shark underneath you. You're on your bike and there is a mountain lion on the road, or you're on the run and there's a bear that you see out of the corner of your eye. Which of those 3 things would scare you the most?
Uh, I don't know all of them. Is that
Yeah,
my
but
answer?
we have
All
hard
of
choices
them?
here. We have to make hard decisions on the Fiery Ember show.
I feel like I would have to say, I feel like biking with a mountain lion would freak me out the most because, like, biking is my weakest link. Like, swimming and running, I'm a little bit stronger at, so I could probably, like, maneuver my way through those situations. But, like, biking is just not my strong suit. And so I'd be so afraid that that's the time that I just can't go fast enough
I
to
would
get away.
100% be freaked out by a mountain. I'd be freaked out by all of them. Don't get
I'd
me
be
wrong.
freaked out by all of them.
Yeah.
But I feel like a mountain lion would be like shark and bear. I feel like we as humans have seen more in general, so it's
Right.
not as freaky. Where like a mountain lion is just not seen as much. So it's like when you come in contact with one, it's like, oh god, this doesn't happen very often, and I have no idea what to do. I'm gonna panic now.
Oh, I love it. I love it. All right. Are you a TV watcher? Do you watch a lot of any TV?
Yes, yeah.
What's your guilty pleasure?
Oh, okay. So, I love medical shows because I work at a hospital as a
Oh, okay.
physical therapist. So I feel like I gravitate towards that because I like know what they're talking about and like
Yep.
chuckle sometimes at like what they make it seem like the hospital's like, but like it's not even close to that.
Yeah.
Um, but then the other show I like to watch like Love is Blind as
Okay.
a guilty pleasure too, of like just really completely out of like completely different than everything else that I'm
Yeah.
doing.
So have you watched The Pit on Max?
No, but I've heard it's really good and I
It's
need to start it.
phenomenal. So last week, I put together the stages of my racing
Hmm.
mindset based on TV shows, and it happened to be medical shows.
Yeah.
So at the outset, it was Scrubs. We're all having
Oh,
fun. We're
love.
laughing. It's fantastic.
Hmm.
Then it becomes Grey's Anatomy, where it's slightly more serious, but it's not 100% serious. And then it ends at Pitt, where everything is breaking down. You have no clue if you're going to make it to the finish
Yeah.
line. You're just
Yeah.
hoping to get there eventually.
Oh, that sounds pretty accurate.
So if you had to pick TV shows, and you can't use medical shows now, how would you describe your racing in, let's say, 3 TV shows?
Oh, okay. I think I've got a good one for this. Okay. So, um, give, let me, um, 3 TV shows. Okay. So I like the first one I would say is you start out like new girl because you're all hyped up, you're ready to go, you got all of your friends backing you and supporting you.
You got
And
Schmidt
then,
running around helping you out.
yeah, yeah, he's got whatever you need. They have an episode where Cece and Jess race and they're all handing out stuff to them and whatnot. So yeah, exactly. That's what it would be. And then I would say it goes to Parks and Rec, where you're like you said, a little more serious and also slightly panicked now because you're like, oh, I actually have to do this thing. And it's like Leslie Knope running around like you're
Yes,
trying to like remain calm, but also like she's not calm at all.
right.
Um, so that's like what's going on like halfway through. And then you end at the office episode where um they're all running at is it
Yeah.
the fire alarms going off and Michael's like it's happening, nobody panic, nobody panic, like and like yes it's that one where the fire alarm starts going off because Dwight sets the fire. Yeah, that's how it ends of
That is
like I'm
perfect.
just doing everything I can to make it out of here alive.
Just get to the finish line. I don't care how
Yeah,
I get there.
where is the finish line?
We're running out of time, so I want to ask you 2 more questions.
Okay.
One, is there a show that people have clamored on about and you're like, "Yeah, I've never watched it." And before you answer, I will tell you I have never watched Ted Lasso and I never watched Breaking Bad. So
Oh.
those are the shows where people are like, you have to watch it."
Mhm.
I just never did, never pressed play. So is there a show out there that everybody's clamoring for you to watch and you're like, "Yep, never done it."
I um I have watched those 2 shows and I do love both of them. But it did take a while to watch Breaking Bad. Like I did get that for a while and then I finally was like, oh, okay, fine, I'll commit the time to it. But it took a while to get there. Another show that everyone it's like currently airing though is Severance on Apple TV. Everyone says it's so good and they keep talking about it at work and I keep seeing reels about it and I don't understand any of it. And that's one that I want to watch and I always end up going back to like something that I know that's funny.
I
And I'm like,
tuned into the
why would I
Yeah,
put
I
the
put
effort
the
in for
very
it?
first episode on, and I was like, "I don't get this, and I'm not interested in it," and I just never went back. 0 interest.
Yeah.
We're big fans of Real Housewives of Beverly Hills. Like, I
Hmm.
can dial into that and sit back and let my brain not have to process anything, whereas when I watched that first episode of Severance, I was like, "This is too much thinking already."
Yeah.
Like, I'm
Yeah.
out.
There's we've Me and my husband will like grade shows and we'll figure out like okay, ones that we watch during dinner are the ones that we have to pay attention to. Like we watched Yellowstone and we watched a couple more like serious shows when we're eating because then we'll pay attention to it. Where if we're like laying in bed, we're like we want something funny that we know that like if you're not 100% watching it, you're not missing anything.
Right.
So we'll watch The Office or Parks and Rec or something like that. But every once in a while when you're sitting down, you're just kind of like, I want to watch something funny. And I
I
want to turn
love it.
those on. I don't want to pay attention to anything.
I love it. That's fantastic. So before I let you go, is there a
Mhm.
mantra that you have that you use to get through your training and racing?
Oh, I feel like there's too many. It like they all have the same, like overarching theme, but like I feel like every once in a while like I'll just pull and pick from different ones to use.
What was one that you used in
um
the last mile at Oceanside?
oh, where's the finish line?
Yes.
It's too hot out here.
Yes. I love it.
um I mean it's probably like the most one of the most common ones or and most cheesy ones. Probably like my top two are just the basic never give up, and then another one is a quote from Steve Prefontaine about if you give anything less than your best, it's sacrifice to the gift.
Yeah.
And so those are probably like the two that I always end up going back to, um, because like the times that I'm putting up now are like times I dreamed of like a couple years ago even.
Yep.
um like I thought I was done after college. I was like, I'll be a competitive age grouper, but I'll never do more than that. I don't know how realistic it is for me to make worlds or even try for like my pro triathlete license. Like I don't know how realistic that stuff is. And so um just how much like how far I've come since that point and the times and the paces that I am putting up, I was like, these are things that I could do. Like, why did I count myself out? Why did I automatically assume that I couldn't do these things? Like, and that my best was going to be in college or going to be before that point. Like, there's so much room for growth like after that point. And so now I'm seeing all of that happen and I'm realizing all of it. And so I always end up going back to those two things when I get frustrated because I know I can do it.
That's awesome.
For lack of a better way to say that.
That's it. No, but the first step to the finish line is believing you can get there.
Yeah.
If you're constantly doubting yourself, it's going to make it even harder to get to that finish
Mhm.
line. So, Kaitlin, thank you so much for joining us. We really
Thank
appreciate
you.
your time.
Yeah, this was a lot of fun. I love this.
Awesome. For those of you who joined us on our live show, or if you're listening to this delayed after we've produced this on the Everyday Athlete Podcast Network, thank you for listening. Please be sure to subscribe, rate, review, and if you're using Spotify, comment now on this episode so that we can continue to bring great guests like Kaitlin Carew to our shows, whether that's this one at Fiery Embers or Fireside Chat, Running Tales, Beyond the Finish Line, et cetera, et cetera, et cetera. We really appreciate you being a part of our community. Thank you very much and have a great rest of your day.